Hi, my name is Emily. I've got a 45-minute flow to share with you today. I'm going to suggest that we start in a seat. However, you're welcome to begin in any posture that just feels good to you. If you are taking a seat and you've got blocks, go ahead and grab those. And if you don't have blocks, a stack of pillows will work nicely for this. So you're welcome to take the blocks in between your ankles so that your knees come about hips width, or whatever you're sitting on. Looking for the spine to just feel really beautifully supported here, and if it feels okay, start to let the eyes flutter closed. Just starting to gently transition into this moment. Starting to become really aware of the pace, the quality, and the texture of the thoughts in your mind right now. And the feeling of your breath as it rises and falls right now. Meet the temperature of the room. Perhaps the feeling of support of the ground underneath you. And just being here in this space of noticing. Starting to turn your attention inward here. And from here, we'll start to bring some intention into the breath. Breathing deeply in through the nose, really filling up the belly, the ribs, the chest. And on an exhale, long, slow squeeze, empty. Really letting the exhale be long and luxurious here. Two more like that. Deep breath in, fill the belly, fill the ribs, fill the chest. Really fill up the lungs here. Exhale out the mouth, really slow, squeeze empty. Last one, deepest, fullest inhale of the day. Longest, most luxurious exhale. Taking this moment to set an intention for your practice today. Pausing to notice if anything is coming to mind. And it might be that nothing's coming up today. And so I'm going to offer, if it resonates for you, the idea of keeping an open heart. This idea that's referenced in the very first line of the Yoga Sutras. So I'll offer some postures where we'll explore that physically, but I'd also invite you to explore that idea of an open heart and what that might mean mentally. Like being open to a different viewpoint. And being open to feeling some really powerful feelings, even if that's kind of scary. Be open to seeing yourself in a different way. Open heart. And we'll seal the beginning of our practice here in with a deep collective breath in through the nose. Long breath out the mouth. Checking in, noticing if staying right here in stillness is just exactly what is in order. Otherwise, really gently blink the eyes open. And on a breath in, imagine that the crown of your head is growing long toward the ceiling. And on an exhale, simply let your left ear drop over to the left. Breath in, head comes back to center. Exhale, right ear drops over to the right. Breath in, come on back to center. We'll move into some eagle arms from here. If you know that this bind does not feel great, welcome to simply take one elbow on top of the other as a nice modification. Otherwise, take your right arm underneath your left, right arm under left like an X, and then bring your palms to touch. Again, if that doesn't feel great, simply letting the palms rest on the shoulders can still be an equally lovely opening. Breath in, lift the palms up toward the ceiling, finding a gentle back bend. Exhale, curve and coil the spine in, really feeling this stretch even as deeply as the inner thighs here. Breath in, release the bind, let the arms come right by the sides. Pinky fingers rotating in, open chest here, open heart. One more breath in. Full breath out. Taking the left arm underneath the right, left arm under the right. Bringing the palms to touch, and if it's not accessible, letting the palms rest on the shoulders. Breath in, lift the palms up to the ceiling. Exhale, curve and coil the spine. Again, even feeling sensation in the inner thighs here. Breath in, come on up. Exhale, curve and coil the spine. This time, breath in, unwrap the bind, let the arms come rest by your sides, pinky fingers rotating in, closing the eyes, just noticing what, if anything, that just even few motions did for your shoulders here. Really plugging in to the parts of your body that are meeting the ground. Feeling into that support and that stability. Staying in stillness here, just recharging to be able to move. And to be able to move in a way that feels free, giving yourself enough rest that you feel ready. Wanting every posture that you take to feel enjoyable in some way, knowing that you're always welcome to take breaks whenever you need them. If you feel ready to move on, take your blocks or your pillows, whatever you're using, to the side, and we'll meet in tabletop. Wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips, toes can stay tucked or the tops of your feet can rest on the ground. Breath in, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, curve and coil the spine. Chin tucks. I'd encourage you to close your eyes here so that you can just let these intuitive things that your body wants to do take over. It's especially nice in the privacy of your own home to not feel any sort of restriction about how you might move your body. So here are some ideas that you might try on. Maybe taking C curves, looking back at your hips, perhaps taking the fingertips back to face you and then taking the hips back so that you stretch out the wrists. But better than any suggestion I'm making is something that your body is telling you to do. Wanting every posture that you take in this practice to feel useful to you. Never doubting if, I'm cueing something and you feel that you'd rather take another posture. Never doubting that voice. That's, you reconnecting with you. Really lovely gift to give yourself. Breath in, take the ball of the left foot back, just rocking and rolling over the ball of the left foot, just feeling into the hamstring. Start to take weight into your right palm, swinging onto your right shin, so the right shin comes out at a bit of an angle. Breath in, lift the left palm, lift the left leg. Hip is feeling fiery here. Option to hang out right here. Otherwise, go ahead and reach for your left foot, and then on a breath in, push that foot any amount into the hand, just opening up the shoulder here. One breath in, one breath out. Breath in, let it go, spin back around, right back where you started. Bring the left knee back into center, cat-cow to clear it away. And as you're ready, taking the ball of the right foot back. Just rocking and rolling, checking in. spinning onto the left shin, so it's at about sort of a little bit of an angle. Grounding into the left palm. And on a breath in, slow and steady, lifting the right palm, lifting the right foot. Hip is active here, maybe a little bit of fire. If it's there for you, go ahead and bend the back foot, and on a breath in, push the right foot any amount into the hand, maybe even playing with letting the head drop back. Staying for a breath in. Staying for a breath out. Breath in, release with control, come right back around. Left knee meets right, cat-cow to clear it away. We'll meet in child's pose. For this child, maybe take the knees wide, let the big toes touch. Forehead rests on the mat. And if the forehead doesn't easily come to the mat, a pillow in between the hips to rest your head on can be a really lovely support. Again, stillness might be just the place. Otherwise, breath in, walk your fingertips long toward the front of the room, and on an exhale, take them over to the right. Left palm comes on top of right, and as you push the left palm down, anchor the left hip back and down to the opposite left corner of the mat. Breathing into this space between the ribs. Staying here for as long as feels useful to you. As you're ready, coming back to center and taking it onto the other side. Right palm on top of left. Pushing the right palm down so that you can anchor and encourage the right hip down and back. Space into the ribs, maybe even into the upper right back. Again, staying for as long as is useful. Once you're ready, breath in, fingertips come back to center. Start to pull yourself a little bit forward using the palms of your hands. Bring your knees back to hips width, tuck the toes. So knees are hips width, toes are tucked. You're sort of on the crown of your head here. And then walk the hands back so that the torso drapes on top of the thighs. It's kind of like a half puppy, half child's. Being in stillness might feel incredibly nourishing. Sometimes giving yourself a little forehead massage can also feel really great. So perhaps finding some circles if you're opting for that forehead option, maybe even wheeling the hips a little if that would feel good. And again, there's no right or wrong here. There's just what is in alignment with the experience that you want today. And that's always different. What would be nourishing today? You might even try taking those head rolls onto the crown of your head. Sort of a north-south movement, if that would feel good. And then let the torso rest on the thighs. Walk your hands back towards you so that your palms are underneath your shoulders. Start to push your weight into the balls of your feet, straighten your legs, find forward fold at the back of your mat. And sometimes hanging out here with the hands touching the ground can feel lovely and really accessible, and other times the hamstrings are just too tight. So if that is you, go ahead and bend the knees, bring your hands together, maybe even clasp them, letting the forearms rest on the thighs. And you can play with coming into a deeper forward fold and bringing it back down into this bent knee variation. If you are loving having your hands hanging by the ground, you might play with ragdoll, opposite hand to opposite elbow. Always welcome to stay here in forward fold as long as you like. If you feel ready to move on, hands come somewhere underneath the knees, and on a breath in, push into your shin bones, gazes right at the mat, roll your shoulder blades down your back, beautiful long spine. And And then let that all go. Exhale, forward fold. Beautiful big release. Flowing through that 2 more times. Breath in, flat back. Exhale, cascade forward. Breath in, flat back. Full release, forward fold. Last one, breath in, flat back. This time a little different. On an exhale, keep your feet just as they are, hips width. Let the forearms rest on the thighs, downhill skier. Notice if the weight automatically went to the outside edges of your feet, bringing it into all corners of the foot. So under the ball of the foot, pinky toe, part of the foot, the edge, and the heel. Staying here for a breath in. Airplaning your arms back on a breath out. Breath in, arms reach, legs straight and extended, mountain pose. Maybe take this into a little back bend if you like. Breath in brings you back to center. Exhale, hands come right to your heart center. Perhaps closing the eyes here. And as you've started to move, reconnecting with the intention that you've set. Maybe this idea of cultivating an open heart. Perhaps finding a gentle sway into all corners of the feet again. Really feeling into the support of the ground underneath you, holding it up. Perhaps even noticing the more you press down through the feet, the more you can open through the chest. Fluttering the eyes open if it feels right. Breath in, arms reach. Exhale, bend and hinge, fold. Breath in, flat back. Exhale, downhill skier, pause. Staying here, again, feeling into all parts of the foot here. That strong base is what allows you to walk through the world with an open heart. Maybe even finding a little rock, forward and back. On your next exhale, take your arms by your sides. Palms face the ground. Breath in, rise up. Maybe finding that baby back bend if it would feel good. Exhale, bend, hinge, fold, full release. Breath in, flat back. Exhale, downhill skier. Again, pausing, shifting the weight around. Knowing that you can still find steadiness through all the transitions of your practice by bringing your attention back to your base here. On your next exhale, airplane your arms by your sides. Breath in, arms reach. Maybe take that back bend. And on an exhale, bend, hinge, fold, full release. This time a little different. On a breath in, walk the hands forward, finding your first downward dog. Setting your hands shoulder width, feet hips width. And those are guidelines. Your body's your body. So wanting this to feel good to you, looking for an upside down V. And some sort of negotiation is happening between the balls of the feet and the palms of the hands so that all of the weight is not in the feet and it's not in the shoulders. So somewhere in the middle, nice equilibrium. Breath in, flow forward, high plank, letting the shoulders arrive over the wrists. Draw your attention to your low belly. And then from there, as though someone was picking up your hips, really slow, hinge back. We'll flow through that again. Breath in. Feeling sensation move up your spine as it straightens out here. Again, exhale, low belly brings you back. Down dog. Last time, breath in, flow forward. Exhale, hinge back. Breath in, right leg lifts high. Exhale, step the right foot forward to the right wrist. Find yourself in a runner's lunge. Lovely place to grab blocks or soup cans and books, anything that brings the ground a little closer. Wanting your feet to be on train tracks, so space between the feet. breathing into any opening here in the hip. On your next exhale, taking weight into the right foot, stepping the left foot forward. Breath in, flat back. Exhale, let it go, forward fold. Breath in, bend the knees, rise on up, extended mountain pose, back bend if you want it. Exhale, bend, hinge, fold, full release. Breath in, flat back. This time, right leg steps back. Finding that runner's lunge. Again, feet are not on a single line. Just breathing into sensation in the hip here. This time, take your blocks or soup cans, what have you, to the side if you're using them. Step the left foot back. Find your high push-up. And on an exhale, slowly lower all the way down. Letting one cheek rest. Palms coming by your sides. Forehead can rest on the ground too if that feels good. Being here in stillness might feel nice. Rocking the knees side to side might feel even better. Again, feeling into the support of the ground underneath you. And breath in, we meet in Sphinx pose. Taking your forearms out in front of you so that elbows are about the width of the shoulder. And if there's any jamming in the low back, you can alleviate that by bringing your elbows a bit forward and out to the side. So the cues are guidelines. Your body is the most important information giver and cue giver of all. Gaze is right ahead. I think I said cobra pose, I meant Sphinx pose. Tops of the feet are grounding down here. One more full breath in. On an exhale, let the forehead meet the ground. Take the right arm out the height of the right shoulder. Ground your left palm into the ground. And then start to roll open and over the right arm. Left sole of foot can rest on the ground. You can also keep both legs out extended. If you have incredibly open shoulders, it might feel good to have the soles of both feet on the ground. There might be a lot of physical sensation here. And maybe experimenting with this theme of an open heart here. What it means to really feel physical sensation fully here. Letting your attention be captivated by sensation. Opening yourself up to that feeling, really full feeling. One more breath in, unless of course you'd like to stay longer. Exhale, come back around. Taking a minute, noticing any shifts there. And as you feel ready, extending your left arm out the length of your left shoulder. This time, coming onto your left cheek, right palm grounds down, and then start to roll over your left shoulder. Right foot, sole of right foot can come to rest on the ground. Again, both legs can stay extended. Maybe soles of both feet on the ground feels good. One more breath in. Staying for a breath out. And bringing yourself back to center. Extending both arms out long. Just maybe feeling any difference there. Always welcome to stay in stillness. If you feel ready to move on, take the palms underneath the shoulders. Lift the hips back to a brief child's pose. And lift the hips downward facing dog. Breath in, come high onto the balls of the feet. Exhale, drop both heels over to the left. Breath in, high onto the toes. Exhale, drop both heels over to the right. Breath in, come on back to center. Exhale, sink and settle the heels any amount. Breath in, bend the knees, look forward. Step walker, hop to the top of your mat. Breath in, flat back. Exhale, downhill skier. Stay for a breath in. Knees are over the ankles. Exhale, airplane your arms. Breath in, rise up. Exhale, bend, hinge, fold. Breath in, flat back. Exhale, step it back. High plank. Breath in, shoulders come slightly forward at the wrists. Exhale, lower down, hover. Breath in, you're on the tops of your feet, upward facing dog. Exhale from core, hinge it back. Downward facing dog, giving yourself a full breath cycle here to reset. As you're ready, breath in, bend the knees, look forward. Step walker, hop to the top of your mat. Breath in, flat back. Exhale, downhill skier. Staying for a full breath in. Exhale, airplane your arms. Breath in, straighten the legs, rise up, extended mountain. Exhale, bend, hinge, fold, full release. Breath in, flat back. Exhale, step it back, high plank. Shifting the shoulders forward of the wrists. Exhale, lower down. Breath in, open the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Full breath cycle to reset. One more, sun A. Breath in, bend the knees. Look forward, step walker, hop. Breath in, flat back. Exhale, downhill skier. Staying for a breath in. Airplaning your arms and a breath out. Breath in, straighten the arms, or straighten the legs, arms reach. Exhale, bend, hinge, fold, full release. Breath in, flat back. Exhale, step it back, high plank. Lowering down, low push-up. Breath in, open heart. Exhale from core. Downward facing dog. Walk the hands to the feet at the back of your mat. Second forward fold. At this point, it might feel good to take opposite hand, opposite elbow. If you choose that variation, give yourself some time switching up the grip. And then as you feel ready, breath in, find down dog. Exhale to settle the heels down any amount. Breath in, right arm reaches, right leg reaches high. Exhale, right foot forward, right wrist. Find your runner's lunge. Stay for a breath in. Exhale, airplane your arms. Keep reaching them back and up. Crescent lunge. Welcome to stay here in this beautiful posture. Otherwise, find your eagle arms. If the right leg is forward, right arm is under. Palms meet, or perhaps rest the palms on your shoulders. Welcome to stay here in this variation. If you'd like to play with a back bend, try it on. One more breath in. Exhale, bring your torso back to center. Release the bind if you have it. Palms by your sides, feeling maybe a shift in the shoulders, and then fly right into your airplane. Mindfully transitioning weight forward. Hips are square. Again, feeling into all the points of contact of the foot. So the heel, big toe mound, pinky toe mound. Maybe even finding a bind at the low back to accentuate that open heart. One more breath in. Exhale. Breath in, hug the left knee into the chest, one-legged Tadasana. Exhale, step it down. Mountain pose, release the bind. Arms by your sides. Just staying here for a moment in stillness. Breath in, arms reach. Exhale, bend, hinge, fold. Breath in, flat back. Exhale, step it back, high plank. Breath in, flow forward. Exhale, hover. Breath in, heart opens. Exhale, downward facing dog. Full breath in here. Full breath out. Breath in, left leg lifts high. Exhale, step it forward to your left wrist, finding your runner's lunge, staying here for a breath in. Exhale, airplane your arms by your sides. Keep reaching them back and up. Crescent lunge. Adjust your footing if you have to so that it feels stable. Welcome to stay here. Otherwise, take your left arm underneath your right. Finding your eagle arms. Maybe playing with a back bend. Staying for a breath in. Exhale, come on back to center. Arms release by your sides. Palms face the front of the room. With control, transition into your airplane. Feeling into all those balance points on your left foot. Maybe taking a bind at the low back. Choosing the opposite interlace if you're going through that variation. And if you fall out of it, you get to come right back in. One more breath in. Last breath out in this posture. Breath in, hug the right knee into the chest, one-legged Tadasana. Exhale, step the right foot down by the left. Let the bind go. Tadasana. Pinky fingers rotating in here. Maybe finding a gentle sway here. Breath in, arms reach. Exhale, bend, hinge, fold. Nice full release. Breath in, flat back. Exhale, step it back. High plank. Flowing forward. Lowering down to hover. Breath in, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Giving yourself a moment here in stillness. Full breath in, come high onto the balls of your feet. Exhale, drop the heels back down, 2 more like that. Breath in, high onto the balls of your feet. Exhale, sink and settle the heels down. 1 more like that. Breath in, high onto the balls of your feet. Exhale, sink and settle the heels down. Breath in, lift the right leg high. Take some hip circles if that would feel good. Hips come back to square. Exhale, hug the right knee toward the right wrist. Toe healing your left foot back any amount as you find your pigeon. Right foot is still flexed to protect your knee. And you can stay here propped up on your hands. You can come down to forearms. You can let your whole torso drape onto the ground if it feels good. Maybe even closing the eyes here. Again, being open to letting all the physical sensation really flood your consciousness here. Just exploring, what is that like to give yourself over fully to a sensation here? Have a tremendous capacity to redirect and refocus attention. If you are way down on the ground, start to walk yourself back up so that your torso is lifted on the palms of your hands. And then from here, reach your left hand back to perhaps catch your left foot. And then, similar to the beginning of class, start to push the top of the left foot into your hand, maybe even so much so that your right palm lifts up. So you feel this beautiful length in the right side body. Gaze can follow if that feels good. 1 more breath in. Exhale, let it go with control. Tuck your back left toes. Breath in, swing the right foot open. Maybe taking a wild thing here, if that would be a nice way to reset. Coming back through high push-up, lifting the hips, downward facing dog. Breath in, lift the left leg this time. Maybe taking some circles if that would feel good. Making your way back to square hips. Exhale, left knee hugs into left wrist. Sides can be different. So setting it up in the way that makes sense for the side that you're on, the body that you're in. However you're choosing to take this, taking care that your left foot is flexed to protect your knee. Again, letting your attention be captivated here by the physical sensation. Just experimenting with yourself. What's that like? What shifts does that bring about for you? And if you are pretty deeply draped over your front leg, go ahead and walk yourself back up so your torso is lifted. This time perhaps reaching your right hand back for your right foot, reaching for the inside edge of it, and then pushing the top of the foot any amount into the hand, maybe letting the left arm lift up. On an exhale, letting that go with control. Tuck the right toes. Left leg lifts up and around. Maybe right into a wild thing. Exhale, coming back around. High push-up. Down dog. Child's pose. Knees can stay hips width. Arms reach out long. Letting your torso drape over your thighs. Staying here as long as you like. If you feel ready to move on, walking your hands back towards your knees, swinging your feet out in front of you. Take your feet hips width. Take your arms out in front of you, palms face up, and slowly lower yourself down. The slower you go, the more of a challenge you'll find. Hugging the knees into the chest, keeping them together or circling them apart. Might be a nice place to find happy baby. Making your way into a spinal twist on the left. Staying for as long as you like. Making your way onto the right side as you feel ready. Taking a moment of pause in between sides, letting the spine reset. Breath in, knees come back to center as you feel ready. Take a moment, let your knees just windshield wipe side to side. And from here, reaching for a block or maybe a couple of pillows. On a breath in, lift the hips up. And on an exhale, settle the block or the pillows somewhere, well, not somewhere, underneath your sacrum, that bony space at your low back. Checking in with what would feel better, stillness or movement. Welcome to circle out the ankles, wiggle the toes around. Perhaps flexing the feet toward you and away from you. Making your way into restorative bridge in your own timing. Simply letting the soles of the feet release right down onto the mat. If there's any sort of tension in the low back, press a little bit more firmly into the soles of your feet. Staying here as long as you like. Perhaps this might be a nice place to land for Shavasana. Otherwise, making your way to your final resting pose. Take a deep breath in. Long, slow exhale out of the mouth. Knowing that this, wherever you are, can be a lovely place to finish your practice. If you know you'd like to end in a seat, start to wiggle the fingertips and the toes, maybe taking a long body stretch from one side of the room to the other. Curling up into a little onto your right side. Letting your forehead make contact with the mat. Taking a moment to seal in your practice here, reflecting on all that it held for you, reconnecting with intention. Breath in, push into the palms. Find a lifted torso. Eyes can stay open or closed. Giving yourself a moment of transition here. Slowly making your way to a seat. Simple, cross-legged at the top of your mat. Hands can rest on the palms. Palms can rest on the knees. Or you might play with having open palms where the backs of your palms are resting on your knees. In the same way we began our practice, we'll end here with a noticing of what is present now in the mind, in the body, in the breath. Really receiving all that is here with an open heart. Perhaps making an intention to keep that open heart throughout your day, throughout your week. Taking a slight tuck to the chin, bowing our heads. In gratitude for ourselves, each other, for the yoga practice. Namaste. So nice to be here with you all. Hope to see you in the studio soon. And I miss you all very much.